Let's go back to the State of the Union address delivered just an hour ago by President Ursula von der Leyen. And one thing she talked about was its relationship with the United Kingdom. Of course, the club of 28 member states has already become a club of 27. The United Kingdom has become the first country ever to leave the bloc. Discussions about a trade deal are still ongoing, but no deal looks like a likely outcome. Ursula von der Leyen spoke of how Europe needs a new beginning, though, with old friends.
Negotiations are always difficult, and we are used to that. And the Commission has the best and most experienced negotiator, Michel Barnier, to navigate us through that. But talks have not progressed as we would have wished, and that leaves us very little time. As ever, this House will be the first to know, and it will be the one that has the last say.
Well, Ursula von der Leyen also quoted Margaret Thatcher when talking about Brexit as a firm reminder to all listening about the importance of treaties.
I remind you of the words of Margaret Thatcher. I quote, "Britain does not break treaties. It would be bad for Britain, bad for relations with the rest of the world, and bad for any future treaty on trade." End of quote. This was true then, and this is true today.
Well, let's find out more from London and speak to our correspondent Tig Enright. Tig, really great to hear from you. Very strong words from the Commission President there about Brexit. Not just about Brexit, but also the stage at which the negotiations are at. And it definitely painted a slightly sour picture, but that the two groups were definitely going to have to work together with each other. What did it say to us about the EU's negotiating position as it stands?
Hi, Rosie. Yeah, listen, I think there's a lot to unpack in what Ursula von der Leyen had to say today. But I think when it comes to the state of the negotiations, one thing really stood out for me. You know, throughout the Brexit debate, which has happened here, not just in recent times, but of course, ever since the referendum back in 2016, the Brexiteer camp has long asserted that in any future trade negotiations with the EU that they will hold all the cards and the balance of power in trying to reset the relationship between the two blocs. I think what Ursula von der Leyen was trying to say today was that in fact the opposite is true, and that the final say will rest with the European Parliament, that Britain is the applicant for a new trade deal with the EU. It is, of course, always worth remembering the disparity between the two blocs. Yes, the UK is a wealthy market, but a market of around 65-70 million people, whereas the EU is a much bigger market of 400 million plus people, and that always is the explainer of the balance of influence when it comes to negotiating any bilateral trade deal. She made reference to a previous time of friendship when everyone was stood in that parliament singing Auld Lang Syne, a famous British song traditionally sung at New Year. We were all friends then, she said, but I think that the strong inference was this, that friendships can pass and can move on, and I think it was a clear warning to Britain that if it seeks to continue playing hardball, particularly with this threatened breaking of international law, this threatened walking back from the withdrawal agreement, which we heard her refer to there, that the EU is willing to walk away as well.
Tig, thank you very much. Our correspondent there from London giving the UK's perspective on Ursula von der Leyen's comments on Brexit early this morning. You're with